All right, welcome back to Black Cat Crypto Club for another Friday weekly recap. I don't know where the weeks go sometimes, but it's Friday again. I did this week. Funny story before we get into things. I did get a pretty funny compliment. A guy actually, was trying to insult me and was saying, "There's no way you've been in Bitcoin for since 2012. You look poor." And I honestly haven't gotten a compliment like that in a really long time. One of the biggest compliments you could actually give me, because I'm not over here flaunting, what I have. That's not who I am. And I'm not over here living the rich life. Most of my stuff is still in crypto, and I'm proud of that. And I don't need a $2,000 Lamborghini and a nice, $200 haircut to justify myself, I guess. So if you're out there watching, thank you for the compliment. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, we do have some news to get into. There were some big things that happened this week, actually, even, despite Bitcoin moving like a stable coin, continuing to, just hang around that $95,000 to $98,000 point. We did get down to about 94, I think, this week, but it seems like whoever's, and this sounds a little conspiratorial, but it honestly has been every business day, right at about market open. We throughout the day, we seem to kind of climb up, and then right on market open, those first 2 hours, we see a reversion to about 95 from wherever we're at. This morning, it was a really tough one. We got up to about 98, 99 almost. And those first 2 hours, we dropped back down to like 96 something, or I believe, pretty big drop. They didn't get it all the way back down to 95. And I say they, which, guys, listen, it just seems like there's somebody trying to suppress the market right now, which is kind of, in a way, good news, because you can only hold it down so far. And once you get out of that position of holding it down, it's, the common metaphor is kind of trying to hold a beach ball underwater. And once that fails, that person or those people are going to absolutely get wrecked, and that beach ball is just gonna fly up. So it just, I hate to seem kind of conspiratorial, but it's every single weekday right on market open. And I actually don't even think it's Wall Street. This is more like exchanges or market makers or somebody that's working outside of Wall Street, because it happened Monday as well. So, Monday morning, right about opening bell, despite the market not even being open because of President's Day, it just seems like somebody's trying to make it look like it's Wall Street, but it's, I don't know. There's a lot of theory here, and it could just be a coincidence. Maybe this is just how the market's reacting right now. It just seems pretty odd. But anyways, guys, let's get into the news. Before we get into the news, actually, I do want to get over here. This is Cloven Heart Farm Sanctuary, guys. This is the animal sanctuary, small animal sanctuary that I'm really trying to help out this month. If you guys have a couple dollars to give, go over to their website. It's farmsanctuary.org. I do have that link in the description of all of my videos this month. So get down into the description, click on that link, and go over and help these guys out. Something good you can do for yourself, for them. It is a tax write-off, but you can go over here. You can kind of see they've got a lot of things going on. You can kind of check out their animals, ways that you can give down here, right at the bottom down here. You can also just hit that donate button and kind of go through that. But yeah, let's just kind of go over here. I mean, check out their animals a bit. You've got a way to sponsor these animals as well. Virtual adoptions. So they've got goats, sheep, cows, pigs, horses, turkeys, dogs, cats, obviously, since we're a cat channel, and donkey kiddos. So yeah, just go over and check out their animals. They've got this poor little one-eyed cat that you can sponsor named Tofu. Pretty cool. Anyways, always appreciated if you guys can go over there and help them out. We are getting towards the end of the month now, so if you can help out in any way, it's really, really appreciated. All right, so let's get into the news. The biggest news story this week is this: Argentine president defends his cryptocurrency tweet after crash, comparing losses to gambling. All right, there's a lot to unpack in this one. Now, this is Javier Milei. He just became the president of Argentina in 2023, I think October. So this was actually before I started this channel, but I do remember getting on social because it was a big deal in the cryptocurrency space that this guy was elected, because he was very anti-central bank digital currency. And everyone was applauding and saying how great this was. Meanwhile, I was kind of the black sheep of the space, saying, no. First of all, he's a politician, and a horrible one at that, honestly. Just a pretty bad person with his views. And, I'm not a fan, obviously. I'm not a fan of any politician, but this guy just kind of got under my skin. And I was saying, he's not pro Bitcoin, he's anti-central bank. But people were saying that they thought he was going to, turn Argentina into basically an El Salvador, where they were going to make Bitcoin, a legal tender. And I was going, I doubt it, man. He's going after his central bank, the Central Bank of Argentina, and he did. And what he did was he kind of replaced that central bank with another central bank, the Federal Reserve. Basically took Argentina to the dollar. And I think there was a lot of crypto people that were in denial. They were saying, oh, this is a stepping stone to get to Bitcoin. And it wasn't. What ended up happening this week was he promoted it wasn't a meme coin officially, because it was saying that it was claiming that they were going to bring value to the Argentinian people, that there was an actual use case. It wasn't a meme coin per se, but he did promote it, and within minutes, it was kind of rug pulled. 9 wallets, internal wallets, just dumped on the market and stole everybody's money, basically. But this is just yet another politician in line of doing things like this. He's actually being charged by the Argentinian government. They've brought charges against him for this. There's people calling for his impeachment. And I'm over here going, I told you so. You can't trust these politicians, guys. But like I said, this is becoming a trend of politicians doing this. Over on X, you have people finally saying that, hey, maybe politicians getting into crypto wasn't such a good thing. And I'm again over here saying, duh, no kidding. But yeah, we had Trump and Melania coins coming out right before he was inaugurated. Now we have this guy. We did have another one. This was last week. Central African Republic debuts meme coin experiment. And same thing happened, guys. It pumped up and it dumped. All of these are destined to go to zero. Trump was up to like 70 or 80 bucks, is now trending down to about 10 now. So it's lost over 80 or 85% of its worth. This Central African Republic meme has absolutely done the same thing. The only difference between those meme coins and this Argentinian one, which was called Libra, or is called Libra, which is kind of strange because that's what Facebook was calling their cryptocurrency project before they shut it down. So it was a little confusing when I saw headlines at first. I was like, Libra, that didn't ever even get launched. But anyways, the only difference between Trump, Melania, this Central African Republic meme coin, and this Argentinian one was this project actually claimed to have use and a benefit from it. So now Malay is saying, no, this was just gambling, He also came out and said that he wasn't promoting it. He just tweeted about it. As if tweeting something out isn't promotion. Anyways, guys, we're going to get on to, I don't know. This really kind of leads me to really wonder how badly this is actually stunting the crypto space. How bad do meme coins actually affect, these projects with actual utility? Because it's absolutely stealing money away from the crypto space. Hopefully this was big enough news that people are finally going to start waking up to absolutely what they're doing in these meme coins and these pump and dump schemes. And they actually hopefully people revert back to actual projects that are reputable and have utility. Because it's hard to watch, crypto, Bitcoin and DeFi, like literal, legitimate DeFi projects aim at freedom and freedom for the people, right? And so these meme coins and these pump and dump schemes, these get rich schemes that are out there, really kind of go against that. And it's really hard to watch, because I don't think people are gambling anymore. It was my opinion before that, meme coins are okay as long as that you're absolutely gambling. If it's something fun that you're just playing around with and you know that you're probably going to lose, then whatever. But I don't think that's actually what's going on. I think the majority of people playing in the meme coins and these pump and dumps are actually just desperate. You know, there's a stench of desperation to it that it's just hard to watch people doing this, because it's having the exact opposite effect of what crypto should be. Crypto should be an empowering movement. And these guys are actually out there just losing all of their money because they're desperate. And desperate people are easy targets. So anyways, hopefully this was big enough to open up a lot of people's eyes. We have seen Solana kind of suffer because of this, because all of these meme tokens are actually launched on Solana because it is cheap, it's easy, it's fast, and to a point that a lot of people out there actually think Solana is just a meme network, which it's not, guys. It's so much more than that. If it was just memes on Solana, I wouldn't be into Solana because I don't touch memes. But Solana is just another layer one, just like Ethereum, just like Avalanche, all these other layer ones. And they do provide real decentralized finance utility beyond meme coins. You've got meme coins on Ethereum. You've actually even got meme coins on Bitcoin now. But Solana is so much more. I use it every single day. And I'm not in the meme coin space. There's decentralized physical infrastructure on Solana. There's gaming on Solana. There's real world assets on Solana. And that actually brings me to this next article. This just happened this month. BlackRock backed Securitize partners with Wormhole to bring $1.3 billion credit fund to Solana. So this is that real world asset play that I'm talking about. If Bitcoin, or if Securitize, who represents BlackRock for their real world asset things that they're doing, they're actually getting into Solana now. So this is actually pretty big news for Solana. We haven't seen the price react this way because honestly, we've got so much FUD around Solana now because of the meme coin culture. But this is actually a big deal for that network. We also have this happening. FTX announces next repayment round for May. We did just see the first big wave of repayments go out on the 18th. So this just happened. These are going out in stable coins, guys. So it's not like they're repaying in crypto, Solana or Bitcoin or anything, where people are going to get their refunds and go, okay, I'm out, and sell. These are in dollars. So this is almost like a stimulus for the crypto space. Now, some of that might not buy back into crypto. They might feel burnt playing with FTX, which I absolutely wouldn't blame them at all. But FTX isn't crypto, guys. And this kind of honestly brings me to another point. If you are going to be in crypto, you need to get your money off of exchanges, guys. And if you want, I'm just going to throw this up on the screen really quick. Tangem is probably my favorite wallet that I've tried out. Get your coins off into something self-custody like Tangem. Tangem's one of of 3 that I actually use. But it's cheap. It's only about $50 for a 2-card set, and this will get you 10% off as well. But it's really important to get your coins off of exchanges. Don't fall into something that's going to get you burnt and make you discouraged on crypto, because crypto is an absolutely freeing technology, like I always say. But anyways, getting back to this should be a stimulus for cryptocurrency. It's pumping dollars into the space, basically, dollars that could or may not go back into crypto. Some obviously will, and some probably won't. Anyways, yeah, this started on the 18th, and the next round of repayments will be in May. I believe that's going to be the last of the repayments. Finally, these guys are going to get their money back. It's been way too long in the making. Now, the funny part is I scrolled down here and I read this. Under FTX's recovery plan, 98% of creditors are expected to receive at least 118% of their claim value in cash. Now, that sounds really good. It's not quite as good as it sounds. 118% of what they had. That sounds like they're making money, right? But this is 118% of crypto prices in November of 2022, when FTX collapsed, which put Bitcoin at about $20,000. Not so good if you could have been holding Bitcoin and a lot of these assets since then. So yeah, you're getting a dollar amount that's better than the dollar amount back then. But it just goes to show you how bad the dollar's value is in terms of Bitcoin and these legitimate cryptocurrencies that do offer value. But this is the part that got me. In May of 2024, the exchange estimated the distribution's total value to range between $14.5 billion and $16.3 billion. Now, these repayments are in dollars. So how is there a $2 billion discrepancy window? These guys have been planning this for about 2 years now. So how don't they know what they're going to be repaying? Guys, this is traditional finance. It just blows my mind sometimes how off these guys are. Anyways, going to be a good thing. Money coming into the space. I do want to jump over to this. This is the biggest news that we got today, this morning. Coinbase says that the SEC has agreed to end bogus enforcement case against crypto exchange. Now, this is big for Solana as well, because Solana, a lot of these layer ones that are offered by Coinbase and Binance, if you remember back then, it was Gary Gensler calling all of these coins securities, and actually going after Coinbase and Binance instead of the actual coins and token projects for offering these to people. So this should be good for the crypto space in entirety, but for those 13 or 14 coins that Gary Gensler called out by name as securities, this should be a pretty good thing. But I do want to show you guys this video with Andrew Sorkin and Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. So listen in.
New this morning, Coinbase saying the SEC has agreed to dismiss its enforcement case now against the company. These are the charges that were filed back in 2023. By the way, the stock up about 5% on the back of this news. That investigation and the effort started in 2023 when the SEC sued Coinbase for operating as an unregistered securities exchange broker and clearing agency for failing at the time to register the offer and sale of its staking as a service program. Now, I spoke to Coinbase's co-founder and CEO Brian Armstrong about how all of this happened.
First of all, this is a huge day for us and also for the 50 million Americans who hold crypto, the whole crypto industry and the world. I think it's a really important signal that this small group of activists in this prior administration who tried to unlawfully attack this industry, we're going to be able to turn the page on that and finally get some regulatory clarity in America. But to answer your question, how this all happened, I mean, yeah, in 2023, they came to us and said, we think you're trading securities on your platform. But the problem with that is if you go back to just a few years prior, we had gone public. We had explained everything about our business to the SEC. They asked us a million questions. They knew exactly what our listing process was and how we took a very conservative approach. And then a few years later, the political climate changed and they suddenly changed their mind. But that's not how it works. If you're a regulator, you can't just make up new rules if you don't like the existing ones. They have to follow the law and they have to publish clear rules that the industry can then adhere to. And so this case was bogus and we were right on the facts. If we hadn't stood up for our customers' rights and actually pushed back against this, it could have been the end of the crypto industry in America. So I'm incredibly proud of this outcome and what we did to defend our customers' rights.
Can you, though, take us behind the scenes, though, about how the SEC and this administration ultimately decided to end the enforcement action and what kind of conversations you had with them?
Yeah, well, this was a long process. And, I think what they realized is that they were going to lose badly. And I have to give a lot of credit actually to this new administration that's come in and Paul Atkins, some of the existing commissioners like Uyeda and Peirce. I think they're in the process of reforming the SEC and trying to clean up some of these actions where the SEC really painted outside the bounds of the law in the past. That was clear to some of the folks in the SEC at the time, and I think it's clear to the folks that are in charge now. And so I got to give them a lot of credit. They're coming in, and I hope that they'll dismiss all the bogus cases, frankly, and it'll be a domino effect for the rest of the industry.
In terms of how this is all going to work in practice, what's the next step in the process? So do the commissioners have to vote?
Yeah, what we're told is that next week the commissioners will vote on it. It seems to be a formality at this point, but the staff they're telling us they're recommending to the commissioners that this be fully withdrawn. And I want to be clear, this is not a settlement where we pay some fine or admit some wrongdoing. This is just they're fully withdrawing the case. And so we're not changing anything about the business. We're not paying a single dollar as a fine, which I believe is quite unprecedented in SEC history.
How much does this legal battle cost the company?
Yeah, I don't mind telling you, actually. We went and tallied it back up because I asked that exact same question. And just on external legal fees, I believe we spent about $50 million. That does not include, by the way, the cost of internal employees that we spent on this. So it was in excess of $50 million.
At this point, given this cloud may be moving away, how do you see the regulatory regime moving forward? What are you seeking? What are you asking for? And what do you think is going to happen?
This legal precedent is very important to make sure that we can't revisit this issue again, or a future SEC administration can't revisit it again. But what we really need to do in the United States to get regulatory clarity is to have Congress pass legislation. And that's going to have a couple of key components to it. There's already some stablecoin draft legislation being discussed in Congress. That's an important piece so we can have a digital dollar that preserves America's reserve currency status. We also need to get token classification, or market structure, some people call it, which is essentially just clarifying which of these crypto assets are commodities, securities, payment tokens, artwork, or something else, so that we know how it should be regulated. And if we can get those, the third one I would say would be a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I think that would be an important asset for the United States.
Okay, so good things happening. The SEC is finally admitting defeat when it comes to
and then in addition to that, I think that the teams that have been put together.
Sorry about that. When it comes to their crypto by enforcement, the SEC is finally admitting that this was not the right course, basically. But I do want to show you guys, I've kind of voiced my opinion in the past about, and even in this video, about politicians getting too friendly with crypto, going after meme coins, and actually perpetuating scams themselves. But this is actually pretty encouraging here. This is the SEC. They say, it says new SEC cyber unit closes chapter on agency's crypto enforcement emphasis. Now, what they've done is they've pretty much just taken crypto out of the name of their cyber commission. But they have said that they are still going to go after fraudsters, which that, in my opinion, is important, because as we've seen just this week with Libra and Argentine, anyways, yeah, Malay, Javier Malay, we've seen that there are absolutely fraudsters that are going to pump and dump and try and steal your money. And so we do need, honestly, we do need some regulation. So it is good to see that these guys are actually not going completely hands off and just going to let everybody defraud anybody that they see. So, good news there that we're moving away from this crypto by enforcement, or enforcement regulation by enforcement. Geez, guys, I'm struggling with my words again today. But we're moving away from regulation by enforcement and moving to a more logical approach at taking care of scams. So good news there. Also this week, guys, we did see this. Abu Dhabi is the first sovereign wealth fund that has finally come forward and admitted that they're buying Bitcoin. So nations are here, guys. Nations are buying Bitcoin. These guys are actually the first to kind of disclose that. And Abu Dhabi is not a small one. So they've got a lot of oil money. And apparently they're thinking that Bitcoin is a pretty good investment. So I do expect that we'll probably see quite a few more come forward after this. But, good start. This was kind of always one of the countries that we kind of suspected were buying Bitcoin ever since the beginning of last year. So anyways, guys, good news pretty much all around, other than the scams that the politicians are kind of perpetuating themselves. Best I can say is don't trust your politicians, guys. These guys aren't out to help you, obviously. Anyways, guys, until next time, hang in there. Hopefully we break out of this stable coin movement for Bitcoin and to the upside. I think we will. Like I said, it's like a beach ball. It's being held underwater right now. It's not going to go down. We're going to bust out of this and we're going to fly to the moon. So hang in there, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.